Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Laura with Stitchin with Laura. And today we are going to be working on this little autumn picture. There's a better picture that I put in front of all this. But this is what I'm working on. And it came from One Day Saving. I really like this picture. Yeah. And since it's Halloween today, why not? Why not? Oh, it has been a day, and I thought we just needed an absolute stitch along. Just to sit here and stitch and not do a review, but just sit and stitch calmly. It's nice fall weather out there. It's about 50 degrees. I went into town because I thought I had to go get Halloween candy, and on my way there, my daughter calls me and says she's at the clinic with my granddaughter because she's got a kind of a cough. So she was going to get her tested, or like tested for strep, because strep has been going around there too. So I don't know what she's got, but it was taking forever. So I ran to the grocery store, and I just got him a few candy bars for Halloween. I didn't even bother to get a bag because it's still up in the air as to who's going to feel like going trick-or-treating tonight. And I don't get any kids here at all at my house. Because there's, I think, well, on my street, there's maybe like 2 families of kids, but I never see or hear from them. They must have like a yard, where they play, because I never hear them. I just know that who the one family is. They're kids of a lady that I worked for, or worked with, I should say, at the grocery store. And so her kids are like 20, let's say 20 to 30 somewhere, but they've got little kids. But I never see or hear them. Every once in a while they might ride a bike, but I'm not usually home when they come home from school, so I just don't hear no kids all the time. So, and nobody's ever showed up at my door, so not a big deal. This color that I'm working with is 154. Isn't that beautiful? Burgundy. I don't know if, there we go. It's kind of a red violet. Dark red violet, if you will. This is a lovely canvas. I just absolutely love it. It's nice and soft, like the lady with the lanterns. I kind of went back and forth, and I decided on this one. Since it's Halloween and it's still fall, we'll just start stitching on this. Yep, I got myself a cup of coffee. So get yourself a cup of coffee and your little work that you're working on. I just, needed a sit down and a chit chat. But yeah, it's been a week, as you can tell. Had a few reviews. And it's like everything came in at once. So that's the way that goes. And I actually got the order that I ordered for my daughter, the dragon, in. I don't know if you heard me talking about it on the live yesterday. But she really liked it. She thought it was really pretty. And she was just real happy she didn't have to do the background on that, because it's kind of big. I think it's like 85 or maybe even 100, what do you call it, centimeters long. Yeah. So she couldn't take it out. My granddaughter was there. What did you get from? Oh, you got that from Mom. What is it? And I told her. And then her mother wanted her to go to her room, and quit pestering her brother. That happens a lot, because he's 10 and I'm sorry, he's 11 and she's 6. So yeah, here we are. And she's looking around, and I said, well, what are you looking for? You know, Mommy told you to go to the bedroom. Oh, I'm looking for my stitching. And I'm like, well, Grandma can't stay. Oh, she wanted to stitch. She always wants to stitch, you know, and then there's like 10 minutes of that, and she's over it. So, yeah, what do you call it? The attention span just isn't there yet, but we got her thinking about it, so we'll see. But she thought since Mommy got stitching that, you know, we should definitely get out our sewing. But I had someplace else I had to go yesterday. I can't remember, but yeah. And Friday we went to the parade downtown. That lasted about 25 minutes once they got all going. So we didn't have to sit out, but it was like 62, 60 some degrees. So it wasn't too bad out there, you know. I mean, it was decent to sit out. And there wasn't hardly any wind whatsoever. Hey. Yes, and I had Molly with me today, and I stopped to talk to my daughter. She was at the clinic, you know, waiting in line because they make everybody wait outside. And so we talked probably for a half an hour, 45 minutes, and I decided to go get my granddaughter some juice because they were going to have to wait another hour or so. They had one doctor, and they were taking everybody in one at a time. It was insane. Just insane. But we all had a good time at the parade. My daughter took some pictures, and we got that taken care of, so we're good for another year. Last year they didn't have it, so they decided to have it this year, and they were supposed to go out to the drive-in, and they were going to have the cars have their trunk or treat, and the kids just go by people's trunks, and they just give them Halloween candy, and then after that was all over, you know, after everybody had tromped through, they were going to show the Addams Family. Now, I don't know which version of that is or what, but, you know, it is what it is. So I don't even know if they'll get to go with that because my son-in-law came home. This is my daughter's husband. Of course, right? Got home from work, I guess, sometime this week, and the transmission went out on his. They had one of those older, like 1980s custom van that they were going to use, you know, to go to this drive-in. Well, yeah. Nope. Not happening. So they're going to have to take my daughter's. She has it's like a Suburban type thing. So I don't know if the kids can actually see the screen or not. So we'll see what they come up with. I'm just going to kind of back away real slow. And my daughter was a little bit on edge because she had to wait forever, and I can understand that. They'd been there since 9 o'clock, and it was already like 10:30 for, you know, just see a doctor or get the strep test or whatever. So she was not a happy camper and still didn't know what was going on. So I don't know. She said maybe her and my granddaughter would stay at home and let my grandson go with his dad and go trick-or-treating or do whatever if she didn't feel like it, and they could just stay at home and do crafts. So maybe. So I just came home because the games are on different channels that we don't get. Whoa, I about dumped my coffee right on the ground. Let's not do that. So no games for us this weekend, which is fine. Just kind of having a peaceful day. Yesterday I went to the grocery store and they had chicken tenders, so I got a little container. I think there was 5 in there, 4 or 5. So I had that yesterday afternoon, and I had some of it today for lunch, and we're just gonna call it good. I had something else. What did I make last night? Did I make something? Oh, geez, I can't remember. I finally ate up all the Chinese food that I got. Did that yesterday. I just absolutely love Chinese food. But it seems like there was something else I had made, or that I was thinking about having. I guess it was egg smothered with green chili, so I'll see if I'm hungry later, and maybe I'll make something up, but that almost sounds too heavy right now. I had chicken tenders with honey mustard dressing, and I made myself a small salad. So that pretty much filled me up for the afternoon. If I need anything to fill me up, I bought eggnog, of course. I love eggnog. Now I do, but there was a point where I didn't like eggnog at all. Well, when I was like, no, I must have been like 5 or 6. We went to, it was like Christmas or New Year's, and it was a friend of my parents had a great big huge party, and you know, it's like where the adults, they go off and talk and the kids just in a muck. But I must have been, old enough. I'd been there 100 times, so it's not like I felt like I couldn't run around outside and stuff, because there was people milling inside and outside, because there was probably 200 people at this party. I know. And I'm just running amok, and of course I probably knew half of them anyway, but because I was always yapping to somebody when I was that little, because I got drug around with my parents and my grandparents to see older people, and so I knew a lot of older people their age. So, yeah. And it wasn't like I was the only child there. But, anyway, back to the story. I know, I fell down a rabbit hole. And so I had some eggnog there, and like 2 or 3 glasses, but they were little punch glasses for kid size, you know. So I had that, and then we came home, and we had eggnog at the people next doors, because, you know, they practically raised my father. And we knew them, of course, and they were my grandmother's age, so they were in their 50s, early 60s, or whatever. So we had a couple glasses there, and so it got late, time to come home, and I came home and puked all over my mother's antique couch. Yeah, she was not a happy camper. She had just had it, like, I guess she bought it, like, at an, what do you call it, an auction or something, and it was a Duncan Fife couch. Anybody that knows furniture knows Duncan Fife and Chippendale. So, we had this beautiful, and it was done in a green, like a pale teal color. Oh my God. Yeah. Brocade. Puked everywhere. Yeah, and from that point on, you couldn't get me to drink eggnog. So, I don't know, it's been probably about 4 or 5 years. I thought, well, I'll just get, they had it in the quart size, actually. What am I looking for? And, I'm looking for my deal. I got so much stuff stacked over here. I thought, well, I'll just try it. If I don't like it, you know, no big deal. It's only a little quart size. Oh, yeah. Fell in love with eggnog, but I do take that in spurts these days, because it's a nice little snack, if you will. I can't drink like a whole cup of eggnog. That won't be happening, but I just get maybe a half of a teacup, you know. And it seems to kind of fill you up. So if you don't want to eat cookies or with your coffee or milk or whatever and be really full, yeah, just a slug here and there. And I usually don't, what am I doing? Oh yeah, okay. I usually don't finish. I now get it in a half-gallon size because I haven't seen the little quartz bottles since that 1 year. But at least I got to try it. And I really like it. I mean, they have several different kinds. I just want original. I remember 1 year we had some kind of a holiday party. And I made eggnog with, I think it was brandy in it. Ugh. They loved it. Not me. It was different. No, I don't want no liquor in my eggnog. So, just plain old eggnog. It's plenty for me. But, yeah. And we made that from scratch. Oh, God. Oh, yeah. Me and Grandma. Yeah, we were always making something with liquor in it. If it wasn't crepe Suzettes, and we had some of that Grand Marnier, the orange liqueur for the crepe Suzettes, so it took forever to get through that. We also had brandy. We tried to make brandy sauce for the mincemeat pie, which I don't like. My grandmother loved mincemeat pie with hard sauce on it. I think that's what it's called. No thanks. I'm not real fond. I do like raisins, and I like dates and all that, but I don't want a whole pie made out of it. Do you like that kind of stuff? No. So, you won't catch me making mincemeat. I did buy a couple jars of mincemeat a couple different years and thought, well, maybe my tastes have changed. Or, maybe I'll like it now. Nope. Not happening. It sat on my shelf until I moved, and I'd probably had that bottle for 5 years. I forgot it was actually in there. So, it's not something I make. So, it'd be different. But I'd just stick with graham cracker cream pie, pumpkin pie, pecan pie. I like most any other kind of pie. I don't like chess pie. I don't know. Have you ever had chess pie? Yeah. Tasteless. But I do like coconut cream pie, or I like custard, but I don't really want it in a pie. Bizarre. And I always think, every year I think, Thanksgiving or Christmas, I'm going to make something different that I've never made or whatever. That never happens. We need you to make the graham cracker cream pie. We need you to make the pecan. We need you. Yeah. So you see, I can't ever get out of my little box. So, I guess maybe once in a while. I'm getting old enough that I can just push the envelope and say, oh, well, I thought I'd bring this to see if y'all liked it. There you go. Just don't give them a choice. But we all like our graham cracker cream pie. And of course, it has to be made from scratch. And I have to make at least 3 or 4 of them, because I have to have one, and then I have to leave some at my daughter's house, or have for the day, my daughter or my son's, wherever I go. Then, of course, the one that gets left out and I don't go to their house, I have to bring them one. It's like, come on, isn't it time for you people to make your own graham cracker cream pie? Come on, please. I've had that recipe since my son was like 6 months old. I got that recipe for the graham cracker cream pie from his great-grandmother. That was my ex's mother that made that. And I've been making it for close to 40 years. And there have been years where I've made it and the cream, which is working on it. It's like a pudding, but I don't know, 1 year I got it so hot and I put the meringue on it and everything. And we let it sit there, you know, we had dinner, blah, blah, blah. And everybody kind of liked it warm. They really didn't want it chilled, you know, right away. For the first round, you know, of pie. So I went to go cut that thing, cut right through the meringue, and it went right down real fast. That thing was pure soup. I have no idea what the heck I did wrong that year. But, yeah, it was just like you could have drank it with a straw. That's how bad it was. I was like, oh my God. And that has never happened since. So I have no idea. Oh, and then we have to have the cream puffs. Oh my Lord. You gotta have a cool house for cream puffs. I tried to make them in Iowa. And the only time they'd set up and work out was when we cooked them in the wintertime. Because they get too hot and then puppies just lay flat as pancakes. They look like Swedish pancakes. Only in little pools. It's just like, what the hell? I must have made like 5 batches of them. Just the cream puffs. And they're a pain in the ass to make. And every damn one of them just went right out. So I don't know what happened on that note. But Lord. Yeah, so we've been through some crap. Does it ever seem to you guys that, you know, let's say you make this graham cracker cream pie, and you make it year-round, you know, every once in a while, always turns out, and then you get ready to make it to go somewhere, and something always looks like hell. Or you make the deviled eggs, and you can't get the shell off of them, so it's peeled off half of the whites, so they don't even look nice. But, you know, if you were fixing it for a Tuesday in the middle of February, you know, they'd be beautiful. I mean, it's just, what's with that? Oh my God. I've been plagued with that like my whole life. Oh, goodness gracious. I don't know how I'm ever going to get through this day without a nap. But I got to get up and go to work at 10 o'clock in the morning. Holy cow. Never can tell. But I just needed to sit here and stitch and just do something normal for a while. This red's kind of going on forever, ain't it? It's just kind of looping all the way down the side, which is a good thing. And there's about 100 things I should be doing, but, you know, I just don't find myself caring today. Or this weekend. I just needed to do not enough, not too much. Yeah, I know we had a video this morning, but yeah, we just needed a stitching video. And a chit chat. I sat there for 2 hours last night working on the lady in the lanterns. Just doesn't seem like I'm making a whole lot of progress. I've gotten into some of those places that are pretty confettied, and it just not going for me. Whoops. It had just a touch of red on it, and I thought it was red. Just stitching and talking and stitching and talking. As you can see, we're making our way down the side. I like that there's kind of some big areas to stitch. It seems to to help it where you don't have to change that thread. You can actually stitch a thread, one whole thread of one color. When I was doing the, what do you call it? The confetti on the Lady in the Lanterns, I would just make a piece of thread about that long, just enough to make the 2 or 3 stitches. You know, I wasn't committing to a full piece of thread, because then I'd have to put it all away, so I just worked it till I ran out, and get a different color. I must change colors like 20 times last night. I was over it. I am ready to stitch something long with one color. Now this thread is not going to make it all the way down to the bottom there, because I gotta pick up a couple stitches here. I see there's more, so we'll just get that one since it's connected. But this is a nice canvas to stitch on. It's lighter weight and limper and easy to hold in your hands. Going to get my scroll frame out and try it again, you know, with something about this size. But it was just too much effort. I was like, well, it's taken apart is half of it, and I've got to find the pieces and parts. They're here on my desk, kind of, somewhere, sort of. Yeah, this desk needs to be, like, regrouped. Do love it when that other end gets stuck in there. Then I can't get turned around because I don't have enough thread. Alright, guys. There we go. I had to get down so I could tie it off. A pretty orange color. It's 3371. We know what color that is. That is brown. That's my favorite brown to use. 21 is 8104. 21. I love that color red too. It's a nice bricky red. And get it out of there. It's coming. See? Well, there. I'll put it on there. But it's like a dark brick red. Beautiful. I don't know why I don't use it for samplers. I like 221 and 498. Those are my favorite reds. That's going to go right where that gray is. Right next to the gray, I should say. I think it's part of the fence behind all this. That picture is just absolutely stunning. Such beautiful colors. Gotta start way over here. So we gotta move that. There we go. But nice long places to stitch on this. Whoops. I missed the hole totally. Try that again. I watched, what is it, Lara Croft, Tomb Raider, Cradle of Life. It's the second one. They had it on Netflix, so I just watched it because I own the copy of that. So I got it when it came out, but I don't know. Can I remember to watch the movies that I actually have? No. I'm always looking for something on Netflix. And I figured it was in English, it would have helped. So I could just sit there and stitch away. Oh, I watched another one. It was called, I think it's called King Arthur, the Legend of the Sword, maybe? Something like that. They had that on Netflix. That was pretty good. A lot of dark corners over here in this corner. Sooner or later, what color is 19? 19 is... I'm looking at it sideways. It's not helping. 779, perhaps? Not real sure what that color is. It doesn't sound familiar. But you're starting to see the, what do you call it, the panels? I'll show you here, but this panel of wood, and there's like a fence right behind it, and then you have to do the barrel the same way. It's going to be beautiful. And if I didn't like the Lady of the Lanterns so much, I would be stitching on this one. But I'll continue to stitch on it off and on in November. I just like all the autumn colors. I liked all the autumn colors when I got to pick my colors for my house that was built. We bought a house, God, back, it's been 40 some years. And you got to pick what kind of cabinets, what kind of carpet you wanted, and all the stuff and accessories. Green for all my appliances, and gold for my washer and dryers, and gold, I think, in the bathrooms. It was lovely. That was back in the First and Second Wars. Barely see that brown once you get that red up next to it. I about stitched right over the top of it. It's bad enough you got to do all the stitches that you don't have to stitch on top of the ones you already stitched. Crazy woman. Oh, do stay there. It's laying down really good. I'll lay it down so you can see all the colors and what they look like. Yep, it's starting to come together. It's making that brown look green. Had to look up and see if it was still recording. Woke up this morning and my phone was completely dead. So I had to charge it first thing in the morning. Before I started all this. Let's see where we're at. Like I said, this is real easy to stitch on, so I could just find myself stitching for hours and hours. That's the way I am with that lantern girl thing. I was stitching the other night, and I looked up to see what time it was. It was 2:30 in the morning. I just kept stitching and just didn't care. I didn't go to bed till 3 o'clock that night. But it sure does relax you when you stitch right before you go to bed. It just gets you to slow down and stop and just concentrate on your stitching. It's very therapeutical. Not only for me, but for everyone. I always have to have a project going of some kind. Preferably stitching. I mean, I used to paint like that too. I mean, I paint till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. But this is just totally relaxing to me. And you're accomplishing something here and there. Except if you get lost in a confetti hole. But I think I'll just keep going. You know, with these, they're easy to stitch on. And then we'll get gradually into this mess down here. Alright guys, well I think that's going to be it for today. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and please hit the bell, and that way you'll know when my next video comes out. Stay safe, stay healthy, have a happy Halloween. God bless, we will see you tomorrow. Keep stitching. Bye-bye.